Today, I am announcing that the Government of Canada, following a dollar-for-dollar approach, will be imposing, as of 12:01 a.m. tomorrow, March 13th, 2025, 25% reciprocal tariffs on an additional $29.8 billion of imports from the United States.
Canada is not the one driving up the cost of your groceries or of your gasoline or any of your construction. Canada is not the one putting your jobs at risk. Canada is not the one that is ultimately starting this war.
These tariffs are in addition to Canada's 25% counter-tariffs on $30 billion of imports from the United States. With these most recent tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum, the U.S. administration is once again inserting disruption and disorder into an incredibly successful trading partnership and raising the costs of everyday goods for Canadians and American households alike. We will not stand idly by while our iconic steel and aluminum industries are being unfairly targeted. Today, I am announcing that the Government of Canada, following a dollar-for-dollar approach, will be imposing, as of 12:01 a.m. tomorrow, March 13th, 2025, 25% reciprocal tariffs on an additional $29.8 billion of imports from the United States. This includes steel products worth $12.6 billion and aluminum products worth $3 billion, as well as additional imported U.S. goods worth $14.2 billion for a total of $29.8 billion. The list of additional products affected by counter-tariffs includes computers, sports equipment, and cast iron products as examples. These tariffs are in addition to Canada's 25% counter-tariffs on $30 billion of imports from the United States in response to U.S. tariffs put in place on March 4th. In addition, we learned yesterday that the United States tariffs would also be imposed on steel and aluminum content in certain derivative products. The government is currently assessing this aspect and may impose, of course, further tariffs in response to this measure as well.
Canada is holding strong and will continue to do so together. Well, make no mistake though, this is going to be a day-to-day fight. This is now the second round of unjustified tariffs leveled against Canada and Canadian goods. The excuse for the first round was exaggerated claims about our border. We addressed all the concerns raised by the U.S., and in return, they agreed to temporarily abide by the free trade agreement President Trump signed himself with Canada. The latest excuse is national security, despite the fact that Canadian steel and aluminum add to America's security, not take away from it. All the while, there is a threat to further and broader tariffs on April 2nd still looming. The excuse for those tariffs shifts every day. The only constant in this unjustified and unjustifiable trade war seems to be President Trump's talks of annexing our country through economic coercion. Yesterday, he called our border a fictional line and repeated his disrespectful 51st state rhetoric. Well, Canadians have made it very clear that we will not back down and we will not give in to this coercion. À mes concitoyens canadiens, je tiens à vous rappeler que nous n'avons rien fait pour justifier les actions du président Trump contre notre pays. Et nous n'avons rien fait pour justifier ses attaques contre notre économie et notre identité. Nous ferons cependant tout pour riposter. Et nous n'allons jamais négocier contre nous-mêmes. Nous continuerons à être solidaires et votre gouvernement sera là pour continuer à vous soutenir. Entre-temps, on continue d'acheter canadien et entre-temps, on continue de soutenir notre monde. Maintenant, je pense à notre monde au Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, sur la Côte-Nord, à Sorel. I'm thinking about the people in Hamilton, in also the Sioux, in Regina, in Kitimat, people working in the steel and aluminum sectors. Pour nos travailleurs et travailleuses dans l'industrie de l'acier et de l'aluminium, nous sommes ici pour vous. Nous avons pris des mesures fortes en 2018 lorsque le président Trump nous a imposé des droits de douane et nous continuerons à le faire. Les droits de douane sur l'acier et l'aluminium étaient injustifiés en 2018 et ils demeurent injustifiés aujourd'hui. I now would like to talk to the American people, to our American friends. I want you to remember this. Canada is your best friend, best neighbor, and best ally. Many of us have family on both sides of the border. Canada is also America's best and biggest customer. We buy more American goods than the UK, France, China, and Japan altogether. Together, we have spent generations building a relationship between our countries that is the envy of the world. Canada is not the one driving up the cost of your groceries or of your gasoline or any of your construction. Canada is not the one putting your jobs at risk. Canada is not the one that is ultimately starting this war. President Trump's tariffs against you are causing that. And there are no winners in a trade war. American friends, help us help you. Please help us end these tariffs as quickly as possible. And please talk to your elected representatives at the federal, at the state, and municipal level. Please talk to your governors, to your senators, to your House representatives, and to your mayors. Send the message to the White House. Working together, Canada and the U.S. have built a strong enough economy, and working together, we can bring down inflation and bring stability to the markets. To my European colleagues, we will work together to put pressure to end these tariffs against you too. À mes collègues en Europe et dans le monde entier, je dis depuis longtemps que le Canada est le canari dans la mine. Que si les États-Unis peuvent nous faire ça à nous, leur allié et ami le plus proche, aucun d'entre vous en est exempt. Aujourd'hui, ces droits de douane injustifiés ont été imposés à vous aussi. Alors, travaillons ensemble pour les faire lever. Travaillons ensemble pour encourager les Américains à faire pression sur leurs représentants élus. Ensemble, nous avons réussi à lutter contre les droits de douane sur l'acier et l'aluminium en 2018 et nous pouvons le faire à nouveau. After this, I'm heading to the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting in Charlevoix, Quebec. I'll be meeting with Secretary Rubio. I will also be meeting with my European and British counterparts. In every single meeting, I will raise the issue of tariffs to coordinate our response with the Europeans and to put pressure on the Americans. This is much more than about our economy. It is about the future of our country. Canadian sovereignty and identity are non-negotiable. Canadians have had enough, and we are a strong country who will defend our sovereignty, will defend our jobs, and will defend our way of living.